Welcome to the official podcast for Guardian 1. Destiny catered to everywhere. We broadcast live every Thursday at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, right here on the Guardian 1 network. My name is Remy, and I love Bungie. Joining me this evening are three Guardians I suspect might feel the same, and if they don't right now, I'm willing to bet that they will before we hit October. First up is River. How are you doing tonight, River? And do you love Bungie?
I'm doing all right, Remy. I hope you're doing well. And yes, of course I love Bungie. That's it.
What was it for you? What was it that tipped the scales? Like I enjoy great things. I love the Assassin's Creed series, but can I say that I love Ubisoft? No, I can't say that I love Ubisoft. What was it for you that pushed you over from just I appreciate this company and what they do to I love this company?
I personally really enjoy how close-knit they are with the community, with their Bungie community. They always take our questions, pay attention to kind of the things that we're doing as a community, and kind of shift and mold the way their game goes out according to that ebb and flow. That's particularly what I love about the way they do things.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that more, as that is definitely something to Bungie myself. Well, it's great to have you on the show. How are you feeling about episode 2?
Dude, I think this is going to be a really great episode. I mean, E3, what, just ended? We just now finished E3, so there's tons of information to go over, tons of things to talk about. I'm extremely excited to get this going.
Agreed. Well, thanks for being on the show. It is great to have you. Next is Crimson Warlock, also known as Mike. How are you doing this evening, Mike? And do you love Bungie?
Hey, thanks, Remy. I'm great to be here. Kind of flustered because I've been traveling. But love Bungie. I'm getting a love for Bungie. How's that? Since I don't have tons of experience, I wouldn't say that I love them quite yet, but I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, I absolutely understand that position, and want you to know that I respect it, because you really have no reason to love Bungie. But I guarantee, after 2 or 3 weeks in this world, the released version, that you will gain this love for it. And I'll tell you what, you already have it, my friend, because you are on a podcast talking about Destiny. Like, you have to love this. Is this something that you've done before? You're a podcast veteran. You just do it all the time, or is this specific to Destiny? You want to talk about Destiny?
First off, I'm going to apologize to everyone listening. Sorry about my sound quality, and sorry about my son. He's not happy, and I'm babysitting tonight. So bear with me. I'm a dad first and a video game player second. But as for podcasts, this is my first one that I've ever really done. Listened to a few, but super excited for Destiny. It's been almost a year since I've been following it. I think next year's my 1-year anniversary of following Bungie or Destiny and Bungie, so I'm super excited.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you here. It's great to have your son here. Special guest, everyone. Outstanding. What do you think it would take for you? Like what in this game would it take for you to just ping all of a sudden this is amazing? Like, do you have something outlined already, or are you just waiting to be wowed?
I'm going to explore the crap out of every single planet. I'm hoping if I can get the alpha to run before it ends on my machine. I'm hoping to find one of those hidden bosses that kills me instantly, so I can run it that first when the beta comes out. So I will be doing exploration probably 90% of the time, and then hopefully I'll get a fire team together to do some strikes.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I think that exploration is going to be huge in this game. I think that Bungie has not hit anywhere near their full potential, and probably look back on the Halo series as more or less a toy. So I think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I think that they were all a fan of Skyrim. That came out in 2011. They're not going to let a game from 3 years prior going to best them on this exploration, especially if you have any prior experience with the skulls, finding the skulls in Halo games. It's definitely something to chew on. Well, I tell you what, it's great to have you here, and I appreciate your time. And no problem with your son. Parenthood is an amazing pursuit. I suggest everyone try it once, maybe twice. So
It's great to be on the show, and can't wait for more episodes and a lot more Destiny.
a lot more Destiny. A lot more Destiny. Finally, we have Jez. How are you doing tonight, Jez? And do you love Bungie?
I'm doing fantastic because I played Destiny.
Oh,
Yes.
Now,
shut up.
I do have to admit, I don't think I love Bungie. We've only been out on a couple dates, and it's not that serious yet.
That
But yeah, I
is
do
a-
love Bungie.
that too is a valid point of view. I thought about this before the show, and I love Bungie. I love the effort that they put in for us. I mean, ultimately, it does benefit them to make a game that we want to play, but I think that they've turned the tables in that it's a game that they want to play, and so they're trying to make a game that people want to play, and because that's their magic, it's going to be awesome. It's be awesome. So when was the turning point for you, Jez? Like, when did you realize that this was something that you really enjoyed?
Well, I could kind of care less about Halo. I played it, and they were great games, don't get me wrong, but I was never that into it to start with. But when Destiny started to come around, it was a little bit more MMO, a little bit more my style, and I caught up with how Bungie as a company acts, and they are, like as Stamp River said, they are about the community. And that is probably the biggest thing that I could look for in a company.
Absolutely, and it's something that's just not like I don't even know how they've done it. It feels like they have cornered the market on inter-community conversation. I feel like, even though I haven't played Destiny, I feel like I'm part of this. I feel like I'm part of it. I feel like a part of this Bungie thing going forward, and they've never addressed me specifically on anything. So I don't even know. It's some kind of magic, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate you having you on the show. Thank you for being here. Really quickly, Jez, what one aspect of this week has been your most favorite? Like, what stands out? Like, one thing, one word, one sentence. What do you got?
As far as Bungie's concerned, or Destiny in general?
This E3 Destiny release, any part about it, any part that sticks out to you?
Overwhelming would be a one-word thing.
Oh,
There's
I like
been
that.
so much info that it's been impossible to keep track of everything.
Absolutely, that's very specific. I like that a lot. Warlock, same question. What one thing just either describes what you're feeling or what one thing is your favorite.
Right now, the one thing I'm feeling is frustration. For those who don't know, I've been traveling, and we started traveling when this alpha announcement pretty much came out. I was able to grab my PlayStation, and now I can't download anything. So frustration currently, but I can't wait for Destiny. I can't wait for it to change how we look at playing video games socially, but just if it doesn't fit in any genre, new genre of its own, in 10 years, I can't wait to make friends for 10 years with people, make new friends over 10 years, and maybe even start lifelong friendships. So frustration right now. Hopefully in the future, it's elation and excitement. That's kind of how I'm feeling.
Yeah, that's quite understandable. I've got a different kind of frustration. Like, I'm not waiting on it to download. I'm waiting for a PlayStation 4 to magically drop out of the sky. So I will let you know if that happens. You let me know if that happens.
Will do.
River, what was your one favorite thing?
My one, jeez. My one favorite thing is everything. I mean,
I like it.
If you think about it, earlier, whenever we were supposed to have that Destiny info explosion, this is kind of what I imagined that was supposed to be for us as the community. We were expecting all kinds of stuff, all kinds of information to be let out by the folks who tried it out, and we just got a sliver of what it was going to be. So now that this is all out, I have been saying stuff like finally we're getting more gameplay, finally we're getting a small glimpse as to what the story's about, finally we're getting more information about factions and how that kind of stuff works. It's all pretty much a relief, I would say.
Absolutely, and definitely about the info explosion. This was the amount of that I was expecting. Actually, to be perfectly honest, even if we got 1/4 of the, imagine if only for one day people could stream and put up content.
Yeah,
it would have been an amazing amount. And what we have is the next 4 days of people just uploading insane amounts of content.
Oh, I know. It's going to be great.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I would say that my favorite aspect, besides everything, is that Bungie decided to open up Destiny for so many people to experience. But in order to understand how I truly feel, here is a very special edition of Dear Bungie. Dear Bungie, I need to get into this alpha like yesterday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on Dear Bungie.
That was quite intense.
Honestly, I wanted to laugh out loud so hard. I do. I wasn't sure if that was gonna be rude or not. Yesterday.
So that's it. I need in.
I was kind of like, wait,
now.
that's it? That's all?
That's what I was thinking too, man. Jeez.
So
hey,
yeah. So
well said, Remy.
I am ready to be in right now. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to explore. That's what I want to do, is explore. Like, I really feel like I want to go up to that wall that you go through in that 12-minute, that first gameplay video. I want to take a left. What's over there? I want to take a right. What's over there? Like, has anybody even seen that yet?
Well, I can tell you in that original E3 demo with all the cars, you can go there, but if you keep trying to go down that road, there's an invisible wall that makes you fall to your death.
Oh, interesting.
Invis-
And definitely
Hmm.
something I wanted to find out on my own.
Oh, too bad.
Spoilers.
Too bad.
Jez,
Yeah, spoilers,
spoilers.
everybody.
I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play some Destiny. But I'm going to live vicariously through the different members of the Destiny community. It's going to be fun. I'm going to send Jez out with some specific areas, questions I have that people haven't asked yet. Very excited about doing that. What are you guys most excited about going forward? Because I am really excited about seeing the Yellowhorn and the turret that it places when you shoot that rocket somewhere. Like that's an exciting aspect to me. I'm a big fan of robot companions and putting the aggro elsewhere so I can take my time and line up my shots. Like what out there are you guys looking forward to that hasn't been addressed in any of this alpha? River, go.
Story. That's really what I want. I want to know more about the world that they created, more about the Traveler, more about these different NPCs that we've caught a glimpse of, like those guys with the Fallen. And we'll probably talk about that later, but I want to know what's going on. I want to know everything that's going on and how we're supposed to be affecting everything as a whole. How are we supposed to beat back the darkness? If we were, at our strongest during the Golden Age, and now we're down to remnants of what we have left now, how are we supposed to beat them back again?
That's a very good question.
That's what I want to know.
And an exciting one at that. Crimson Warlock, what you got? He's got a baby.
Hey, come back to me in about 2 minutes. I'm
Roger.
got hands full.
All right, Jez. Question to you: what do you know is in this game, or do you know about this game that hasn't been touched on yet that you're looking forward to, going forward?
Well, it is a Bungie game, and they do have quite a history of large name voice actors. Just in the one snippet of the alpha that you can see, you can hear Lance Reddick from Fringe, or even, I'm forgetting his name, Mal from Firefly. Castle himself. He's in just a random box on the ground that you talk to get a little tiny mission.
Interesting. Very
Wait,
interesting.
You recognize that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Those
So
types of
so
things
it's not
that-
like you saw like a list of credits, voice actors and stuff like that. You were like, oh, that's that guy. Oh, that's that guy.
Right. It's basically going by their voice, and
Okay.
those two have very distinct voices, to be honest.
Okay.
There's the PvP announcer for it is some old British guy, and it's the best way I can describe it.
Let's be more vague.
It sounds like Terrence Stamp, which was the voice of the Prophet of Truth.
Oh.
Interesting.
No, you're kidding. Now
So
I gotta know.
If you ever go listen to someone do PvP, take a listen to the voice actors doing it. Although everyone's been saying how unenthusiastic the voice announcer says his lines, but that's I don't think a PvP announcer is great when he's doing that double kill, triple kill. That just sounds kind of over the top.
No way.
That's
That
over
was
the
supposed
top.
to get you pumped, Jazz.
Totally.
That was
Well, I
supposed to
tell
get
you what.
pumped.
I tell you what, I didn't at all mind the announcer's voice. It did seem a little off at first, but I liked the way he just gave you that information. But I have to disagree on like the announcer being amped is something that's dear to my heart, because I would sneak out of my house at night and go up to this arcade this arcade to play Killer Instinct in the middle of the night, and hearing that guy go Ultra Combo was always the highlight of the night. Always the highlight of the night. Even if it was me that was receiving the Ultra Combo, it was always so awesome to hear. Because they don't have that, I'm willing to give them a pass on this. This is okay. I think this is okay. What did you think about it?
About the voice actor himself?
Well, why don't you tell me what you were going to say? I was going to go back to Warlock. I think he's probably good to go yet. But what were you going to say, Jez?
Oh, it's just the staggering amount of voice talent that they have, but they haven't even listed any of them anywhere. And even still to this day, Peter Dinklage still says, I don't know, am I in the game? But it's still a secret, even though, well, it's obviously no, but it's still a little bit odd that they haven't said any of the names.
So is the speaker of the Traveler the same voice that's in multiplayer?
It's different. I was talking with Bife. Yeah, it's slightly different. It's still an old British guy, but I think the speaker is Bill Nye, not Bill Nye, but
you mean not Bill Nye the science guy?
Right. You know, trying to think of big things he's been in. Did you watch Shaun of the Dead?
Once upon a time.
Right.
Probably he's in all those movies.
Okay.
It's Nighy.
Nig, yes, Bill Nye.
Yeah, Nye.
I like it.
But yeah, it sounds like his voice, especially in the trailers.
I was cruising the interwebs, and they told me that it was the voice of General Zod from the Superman movies. And because I can't search this out to just IMDb it, I have to agree. It totally sounds like an elder General Zod, not bent on killing Superman. But I don't trust him. Just throwing this out there right now. I do not trust the speaker. Yeah, I do not trust him.
I'm on the same page as you, Remy. I don't trust him either. That I don't know what it is, but maybe I'm untrusting since the last few games or something like that. I don't know.
Just to let you know, General Zod was played by Terrence Stamp.
And that's not who you think it is?
That's not who I think it is, but that's who I think the PvP announcer is.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I guess time will tell.
Yeah, as soon as they put out a booklet of who's in the game, because there's sure a lot of voice talent in it.
Right? They pulled out all the stops. Warlock,
Good.
You got something to throw on this?
I saw stuff Tuesday, and I've been traveling ever since, so I feel like I'm in the dark with a lot of this stuff just because it's exploded. But I guess to get back to the original kind of question, I'm kind of with River with the story, but I more want the history. I want the lore. I want to go into a mission and go off a side corridor and find a data cube or something that has lore attached to it that maybe explains more history of the Fallen or talks about the Hive in some way. Like I want the backstory more than I want the story of the game. Just so that we can catch up and understand really how dire everything is, maybe from a different perspective. But I want to go on missions that are not story per se, but have lore entwined in it, just so that you feel that much more of the world.
I've seen it. I've seen it in live action. I don't remember who I was watching, but I was watching somebody's Twitch stream, and they cleared out a bunch of Hive, and then the ghost said, wow, Hive here, huh? This must mean the darkness is close. And that led me to believe that Hive are an indicator of the darkness. Like if you have Hive in your area, the darkness is on its way. And that little piece of information was amazing. And it was delivered as almost like a side note, like he said it not in a oh man here comes the darkness, but as a this is a fact, this is happening right now, and that was way exciting to me. That was way exciting to me, and I think that this is what you're talking about, right? Tidbits that help the overall puzzle, right?
Oh yeah. Jez, I don't know if you're a big story guy, but I loved playing World of Warcraft. I played it years ago, but I loved going into a house and finding a lore book on the table and reading that. And I'm more excited about that because I don't think Bungie's going to screw up like Blizzard did when it came to lore and write it halfway through the series and stuff just to make it work with their gameplay. I think Bungie's going to stick to their lore and make it more and more epic with every game.
I've never actually read any of the books that are in World of Warcraft. I just kind of clicked on them for whatever achievement they might give me. But the first time I played through the game, I was reading all the text of each quest, and that was back when there was class quests, which seemed quite epic at the time. But now it seems like you just open up the quest to get the direction to go to kill things to turn the quest back in. Like there's no story that's required for it, and that's just how the game evolved for me.
That sounds sad.
WoW did turn into quite a bit of a grind because after so many characters, you just don't want to read quests. You just want to get it to max level to do raids.
Interesting. I wonder how Bungie's going to fight that. Yeah, I'm certain that the build that we are seeing right now, this alpha, is something that they've had for a long time. Like I think that they've had this bedrock, like the mechanics. I think that they've had this really solid game for a while. Like I think that we're looking at like 1/4 of the possible of everything that we're looking at total, like game mechanics in this. And so at some point, I'm certain this came up. I'm tired of reading this. There is no, like, how do you make somebody care about this mission? Do you take away the having to read it at all? Are we just going to be told this? It's just going to be, it's not even going to be something that you read about. It's just given to you very quickly. I'm interested in seeing how they can combat that.
Well, WoW, the big problem with World of Warcraft is everything's done in text. So you have no reason to like slow down, but if it's being talked to you, you might miss something.
Exactly.
So it's best to listen, and also depending on the voice actor might be a good reason to listen.
Oh, and you know what else? The different games have ways of keeping you paying attention. Like, I didn't ever, well, after the first couple of times, I didn't ever start wandering away from attention of Mass Effect because there was at some certain points you could pull that Paragon or Renegade trigger and alter the story from what it was going to do. And so that was one way of keeping you interested in what's going on, was being able to interrupt it. Maybe we'll see something like that. It's going to be crazy.
I would like almost that for the first time you go through any cutscene, you have to sit and watch it, and then after that you can skip it. Like something like that, just so that you get the story, but then afterwards, like if you make another character, then you can skip it if you don't want to listen to it.
Right. I agree with that.
I think Guild Wars 2 did that, actually.
I'm trying to think. There was some other game that I remember that being a thing. So every time you die and you had to go back to that last save, you had to sit through that freaking cinematic over again. So it's got its pros and cons.
Well, it's more of an online universe. You probably would, the fact that you've already seen it, you're not reverting to an old save, you're just going back to a different checkpoint.
But that also asks a question that if you're in a fire team and your buddies want to see the cutscene, do you skip it and just kind of sit in a black screen until they're done?
That would be awesome.
And I think I've seen that before. Might have been Reach. I think Reach does that.
Final Final Fantasy 14, they would allow you to skip the cutscene, and then what it would do is it would send you back to your character, but you were stuck in a zone, but kind of a safe area until everyone was done watching the cutscene and they had loaded back into the game. Like then an invisible wall would disappear and you could all play again.
Hmm.
But if someone was watching, you were stuck in a safety box, I guess you could say, until everyone was done and ready to go.
Wonder if we can catch that on a Twitch stream. Maybe somebody's got something like that going on.
Well, let's hope so.
Mhm.
Anybody else got anything on this, Jez?
I'm pretty sure. Sorry, I'm pretty sure Guild Wars also did that. That if you skipped it, you would go back to your character, but it was different. That if you were in a cutscene, you couldn't be hurt or anything. But if you jumped out of a cutscene of a boss fight, the boss would start up, so you'd be pretty much on your own. So it had big issues.
Mm.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Right now, I would like to turn my attention to something that we talked about last week. I started going over in my head the idea of some kind of night vision. And River, you said that because this ghost is this flashlight, that there wouldn't be a night vision. And I am here to ask you, what if we are both right? What if you and I are both correct in that there is night vision, but it comes from your ghost? Because I keep thinking about something that I Would Have Been Your Traveler from Twitter kept saying about sneaking up on behind enemy lines and listening in on their conversations. And I just can't imagine any way you're going to do that with this gigantic mag light, 3 million candle power sitting over your shoulder. Like, I can't imagine you sneaking up on those people. And so my mind went back to a period in which I thought I saw a night vision scene, and I'm going to revisit it right now.
Okay.
For all to see, because I think I think that what we're looking at here is that a night vision filter on the ghost, but at the same time, this actually leads right into some darkness. So in the Moon trailer, do you remember that part where there's these guardians walking through, like the camera is about kneecap level, and the hunter has his ghost totally on, and the Titan has his ghost out, but it doesn't appear to be lit in the same fashion that this one is. And so when you look at it in slow motion, it goes to this next part, and it shows from the hunter's point of view. And much of it is in this kind of a light green night visiony looking mode, like, especially because this weapon that he's holding, this assault rifle, is white in the rest of the scenes, and in this it's kind of this really gross, like, sickly green. And so I really think that this is a night vision is a thing, and it does come from your ghost. What do you think about that?
Okay. Well, I can see how that's definitely possible. I mean, look at like I was saying, the visor mode from ODST, or if you've played Halo 4, they had like Promethean vision or something. I think the ghost can give you some of your abilities. Is that right? Is that what we've been seeing on some of these Twitch streams, where the ghost will give you some sort of ability or anything like that?
The
I
only
don't know.
ability is,
I think
like,
it was
when you
something
get
like
dark area, it does turn into a flashlight in a dark area,
Uh-huh.
like automatically.
Well, I mean, it could very well be. Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Mhm.
So then this leads right into this additional thing in the background of this same screen. It looks like something is crawling out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. It
While you're
looks
doing
like
that, I just wanted
what's
to
that?
say that because the ghost can be upgraded, it's possible that that's how you get your night vision,
Yeah,
or it
that's what
can
I
be
was thinking.
changed.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jazz. That's basically what I was thinking. Because looking at those, finally getting a chance to look at your ability tree, basically for your class or for your guardian, I'm really liking how you can like upgrade your double jump to where it becomes more effective or change the way it works. Just as an example. So I'm thinking that's probably what's going on here. So now this swirly thing in the back.
Yeah, I know that you guys can't see it because of the 40-second
Mm-hmm.
delay. But I've zoomed in on it, and
Mm-hmm.
I really think that that this is a view of the darkness. Like it almost looks like something's crawling out of
Hmm.
this smoke.
Unless
And
they just
then
killed something.
and then uh, and then right after this part where this something looks like it's crawling out of the smoke, there's this section. There's a section wait, where is it? Right here where there appears to be some kind of smoke coming out of the. It's like it looks like a shadow, maybe. No, it looks
Mm-hmm.
like something's emanating right here, right over where the gun is. It looks like smoke is rising out of that. So I think that this is a especially because this place is the moon is so just clogged with hive that I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's what this is that I'm looking at. So bottom line, I think that we're both right. I think that there is night vision, and I think that it's granted to you from your ghost.
I like that theory.
Yeah,
So
the
well.
darkness
Mm.
is definitely right within the hive. They keep mentioning it, and then there's only one story type mission in the alpha, and they mention, oh, the darkness is connected to the hive directly. Like they don't say that when you meet a fallen or anything.
Where did they see this? Because I missed that. I remember seeing that around Twitter and stuff, but I never saw that personally.
What them talking about the hive and the darkness
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in the very first mission, like when you start up the alpha,
Mm-hmm.
you're put on in old Russia,
Mm-hmm.
telling you to go to this particular place for whatever reason. I can't remember exactly
Right.
what the story is, and they're like, "Oh, the door's closed. Let's open it." And they open it. It's like, "Oh, this place is full of hive." And
Interesting.
it's obviously not meant to be the first mission you ever play because it starts at level 3,
Okay. All right.
but
That makes sense.
it's definitely kind of just a little tease of how connected they are, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that we're going to find out that basically all of these everyone is either a puppet of the traveler or a puppet of the darkness. Like I think that that's what we're looking at here is basically this ultimate good and evil. But I think that what we're going to find out is that it's not that clear cut. You know, like because I feel like that speaker is evil, he could be saying to us, "Oh, well, the traveler thinks that you should go wipe out this entire all these bad guys."
Same.
Uh, but then again, is the darkness really going to turn out to be good? Like that would be a crazy twist,
The darkness being good?
right? Wouldn't
No,
that be
that's not
crazy?
happening. That would be crazy, but I think it's more likely that, and I've been saying this all over Twitter and on the Bungie forums, it's more likely that the Fallen might align with humanity than it is the darkness going to be turn out to be good.
I
But you have
agree.
to remember that no one alive in Destiny was alive during the collapse.
Right.
So the story could have changed since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Old alliances are broken, new ones are forged.
Sadly, I think that story is the very last thing that's going to be revealed to us, and I think that is only going to be revealed to us through our playing, through their releasing of the game, through their
I'm fine with
releasing of
that.
additional content. I am too. But I try and because this is what I think is going to happen. I try and keep my mind as far away from story as possible. And maybe that was one of the reasons I latched onto game mechanics so much. Is because it was very easy to wrap my mind around. Do I know anything about that speaker? He sounds like he's up to no good, but I don't know anything about him. And I didn't know that he sounded like he was up to no good until just recently. Because in the trailers he doesn't seem like a bad guy, but from the video I've seen of the alpha, he sounds like he's up to no good.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, I think that he's shady.
Well, yeah, I think so too. I just think that's more of a story cliche than anything. I haven't seen any proof or any hide or hair of anything to prove that right.
Totally. Well, have you seen the Goonies?
Yeah, I've seen the Goonies.
Well, what was it that Chunk was telling that maid? Like, he was the speaker, for like the maid didn't understand the mother, and so what did he tell that maid? Like he could be telling us anything. We have no idea.
Yeah, that's okay. That makes sense. That is one of the reasons why I don't trust him, because he is the speaker, because he's supposed to speak for the traveler, and what, is he the only guy who can do that?
Right?
How do we know?
Right. I kind of also was shied away from Atlas in BioShock because he just said "Would you kindly" too much. It just kind of creeped me out. And then it turns out that the Atlas was no good. Spoiler.
If you hadn't played BioShock in however many years.
That was a little late.
You got anything on this, Warlock?
You know what? My only hope is that the story cliches as possible. Again, I haven't seen too much live footage, so much to say on the issue of what you're talking about specifically. But I'm hoping that if there is a traitor around the humans, that it's not too predictable, that it's totally comes out of left field, and that it's not too cliche. I want a really super original story, and not to bash the game because I loved it, but I think whoever wrote the Tomb game could have done a lot better with the story, because you know what the story is after 5 hours of gameplay, and then you're waiting for Laura to figure it out herself.
Yeah.
So I don't want a story like that. I want something that's pulling twists and turns throughout the entire 10-year lifespan.
Well, I tell you what, even in a limited setting such as the Halo games, which I loved, but not in an I love Bungie way. Like it wasn't Master Chief. It wasn't his struggle against. It wasn't his struggle against the Covenant. It was the whole package. Like Halo 3 was an amazing game. I mean, the Chief, he was basically the everyman. You never got to see his face. All he said was, basically one-liners. But even in that setting, Bungie is able to not only craft a good story, it's able to laugh at itself. It's able to laugh at itself in its shortcomings, but identify exactly what it is. So I think that what we're going to see is a lot of story on top of story on top of story, and there could be and more than likely will be two differing points at many points in time. Like I imagine that the factions don't always agree or see eye to eye.
Oh, definitely not.
And so one of them is going to tell you one thing, and one of them is going to tell you the other, and you're going to have to choose which one you want to help. That's exciting. I think that's exciting.
What if the faction you have the most reputation with recruits you for a faction war in 4 years, and because you have the most reputation with them, they advertise to you the most why their cause is the most important, or maybe they have, I don't want to say the best rewards because Bungie doesn't want to push you in any direction, but that could be pretty interesting to see, you know, how factions do play out and if they stay kindly to each other throughout the course of the game.
Well, that kind of brings up a question that I was just thinking. So, what if you have opposing factions and you help one? Does that mean your reputation with the other one goes down? Because
Oh yeah,
we've seen that. We've seen that in several games.
Yeah,
What does
many
that mean
games.
here? Has anybody seen any of that in the Twitch streams?
I have not seen anything like that in the Twitch streams. That's
It very
probably
well could
something
be
they're
just-
saving for later.
Well, yeah, and it could very
Yeah, I mean,
possibly be nothing like that. Could just be get all these marks for each faction, and
Right.
that's it.
Right, so they either go the way where you lose favor with certain factions, or they do it like Skyrim, where you can become the thieves guild master and the warriors guild master. You can work your ranks through each of these. I myself would be more excited about losing favor with one of them. Like I feel like if I did 10 missions for this dead orbit, like if I agreed with them that much, then I would have to be disagreeing with one of these other ones. You know? I think that makes
I'm
the
with
most
you.
sense.
You know what I would like to see maybe with factions, and I think it would make the PvP game more fun, is bounties on your head. You know, say you're up against someone who's of an opposing faction, and if you kill them in a PvP match, there's a bounty on their head, you get, more reputation with your faction, maybe some more glitter, maybe an extra weapon after as a reward. Just because that person is really high up in an opposite faction that your faction hates.
That'd be really cool to see. I really like that idea.
I agree. You got something on this, Jez?
Well, the only system in there currently of bounties is basically just challenges, which kind of doesn't really fit the name.
Oh no, come on, man. Because it's like, well, you mean challenges don't fit the name or bounties?
Bounties don't fit the name because
Nah, sure it
they're
does.
more
'Cause you're
challenges.
well, they are challenges, but now you're instead of just getting credits like in Halo Reach or something, you're getting money and you're getting marks for those specific factions. So it's like
Oh,
you're
I
fulfilling
see.
a contract.
I just don't think the name fits because some of them are like complete a strike without dying.
Yeah, somebody wants you to do that. Hey, thanks for fulfilling this contract that you signed up for. Here's your reward.
It just sounds
Because
like
that's what you're doing. Because you have to accept that bounty. You don't have to do You don't have to do the ones that are available, like in the previous games. You have to accept that bounty. You have to accept that challenge, and then go for it, and then be rewarded for it.
See, I'm just more used to bounties being dead or alive type things. I want this person dead.
See, EVE Online's like that. I really like Mike's idea, because if somebody thinks he's so badass, well, I'll sit that fool down.
Yeah, that would actually be good if like you jump into a PvP match and it says this guy is a high priority target, and you get more points for killing him or something.
Ooh. Oh, you mean
That would be
for
so
the
much
match?
more fun, I think. Yeah,
It's
well,
like
match and maybe you get extra bonuses.
Right, and
Let's
if you're the one with the bounty on it, obviously you would either be a little bit stronger, so it'd kind of be like Juggernaut or something
Juggernaut.
from Halo.
What's a Halo 4 have, Remy? Do you know?
I have no idea.
They have. It's not like a King of the Hill. It's not Juggernaut, but it's like Protect the King or something like that.
Yeah, I don't
Damn
know.
it,
I didn't play
can't
much Halo 4.
Yeah, well.
I bought it and I wanted to like it, and I mean the campaign seemed like a AAA title. It just wasn't a Bungie title. Like I didn't feel that connection. I didn't feel
No,
like
I'm
there
with you.
was like winks, like I didn't feel like the story was written for me. It felt like, I don't know. I mean, it was a good game, but it was not a Bungie game. And there's definitely a difference.
Mm.
Right on. I am going to move on to questions, unless anybody else has anything to add.
Not me personally.
Alrighty, so Trion Ameth last week was asking about more about the Guardian Angel initiative, and while we're not ready to talk about that yet, anybody interested in the conversation of this or the structure of this group? Right now on our Bungie forums, there's a really great conversation going on, and you can talk to Latitude X or Blue Mayhem because both of them are way, way on point with what I'm trying to do. And if you have ideas, if you have suggestions, jump right in. We're always looking for more. It's very, very helpful to know what people are thinking. So we'll talk more about it next week. I'm getting together with Latitude X, and we're going to really flesh this out. I wanted to thank him specifically because he's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and I haven't really said much about him. But I've been really busy with just trying to make this show competent. And so I want to thank him. He will be integral to this group, and if you have any questions, you can also ask him. So thank you for that, Trion, and thank you, Latitude X. River, you want to say something?
No, I was gonna say hey, thanks to those guys because I wasn't aware they were working on anything with you, so that's a surprise to me. I do appreciate the help that they're giving you.
Yeah, they it's all going on in the forums right now. Like if you you actually both forums are management forums as well. So yeah, big thanks to those guys. Actually, the whole crew, SDF, River, I got it. Crimson Warlock, Jez, Destiny Author, Destiny Overwatch, Snobobo, and Bife. My name is Bife Byford. All of you have helped me very much putting this together, and I really appreciate it. The next question comes from K-Dub. He says, hey, Remy, great job last week. There's going to be so much to talk about, but the gameplay leak is one topic I would like to hear your thoughts on. Personally, I didn't think it was groundbreaking. I did like seeing the menu interactions with the engrams and armor upgradings, etc. Second, I'm sure there will be PvP gameplay to discuss. Can't wait. See you guys Thursday. Well, thank you first, K-Dub, for writing and asking about this. I didn't watch the leaked footage. I held out. I don't know how. I don't know why, but I did not watch the leaked footage, and I feel like it was because I wanted Bungie to give me the information the way they wanted to give me the information. And unfortunately, I feel like I could have watched the leaked videos. I still haven't seen them, but I feel like it's the same thing I've gotten from everywhere else. It just would have been somebody else narrating it instead of Datto or, Alan. So I did not watch that. Additionally, did anybody else watch it? Did any of you watch the leaked footage before the embargo was lifted?
I might have.
I did.
I might have watched a little bit.
To be honest, you're not missing anything. It's the same thing except worse quality. There was no narration, and he was a very bad shot.
See, in retrospect, this is true. However, I think a lot of people were pretty excited just to see a glimpse into some unscripted gameplay for Destiny, man. I mean, so a lot of people were hyped about it.
Yeah, in hindsight, it's underwhelming, but at the time, it was quite monumental, I guess, because we've never seen it, and other people have.
And I gotta. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to throw my 2 cents in here first off, and I don't want to derail the conversation in any way, but first off, the leak might have been good to give all of us something to see and some more speculation. But the matter is that what that person did, he broke his NDA and basically broke the law. And in my company that I work for, someone does that, they are fired immediately. I mean, it's immediate termination. And I just say that while leaks can be good for fans, you know, it hurts the industry. It really does.
Mhm.
And you know, as great as it was, if I had been, I guess, privy, I would be fighting to stop that stuff. I mean, in my industry, leaks hurt us because our competition gets wind of what we're doing, and that hurts us even more. And it's just something that shouldn't happen as much as everyone wants it to happen. It just shouldn't. But you know, if the other thing is what he was showing was alpha. What we're playing is alpha, and I wouldn't be surprised. Not saying that it is or isn't going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised that in a month when we get our hands on the beta, things look better. Maybe a few things are in different places. Where I work, what I do, the software builds we get change daily sometimes, and things are completely different than they were a month ago.
Now, you're not breaking your NDA to tell us that, right?
No, I'm not. That's just generic. But you know, it's you know, let something to feast on for the community maybe, but in the end, nothing's final until you get the official in your hand.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you on that point right there. I think going back to what I think that we're looking at is 25% of the game. I think that the alpha build is just the meat and potatoes. It's just the most bare bones version of Destiny that makes sense to put out. Like, because I tell you what, nobody's paying $500 million for what they released. Like, this is the foundation of what we're going to see. And I think that the beta is I read that the beta is going to be most game modes and a lot of the content. Like, it's going to be a much hardier version, but then there's going to be the release, which is at least another 25% of who even knows what we're going to see. And then the last 25% is content that is not going to be released at the time of release, you know, like comments and whatnot. Like they've got so much ready to go that I almost feel like the exclusive weapons and armor is a joke, because there's just going to be so much already, you know?
That's what I was saying to begin with. And also we found out today that it's a timed exclusive.
That's right.
Exactly, a timed exclusive. So I would probably be most upset, if upset at all, if I was about the raid or the strike, whichever one is going to be. I could see them having one thing in each game mode first, but that's it. Like, I just,
it was, I believe it was just a strike and one PvP map. There was no raid.
And
Interesting.
it's some equipment too, right?
Yeah, there's some equipment.
You know, just I wanted to give my thoughts on this really fast, just because Jez telling me that we found out today, that's news to me for sure. But I wouldn't have been annoyed at all if PlayStation got their unique exclusive and Xbox people got more exclusives for their years of service. You know, they got their own strike for 2 years. They get their own raid for 5+ years or something. You know, something like that. That wouldn't burn me at all. Yeah, I would be kind of curious, not try and find footage, but I wouldn't care if we kept ours and you got your own special stuff. That wouldn't bother me at all.
I agree with that, but you know, as an Xbox player, we haven't really heard of anything for us Microsoft players.
Right. I think that that Microsoft players, they are going to get in connection to the games of the past. Like, I think that's where, like, I don't think they've started talking about what Microsoft players get, both because they're focusing on PlayStation, but also because you don't have to stay with Microsoft in order to get this, because it's tied to your Bungie.net account. It's going
That's
to
right.
be for anybody who has that information. So I think that we're going to find out at some point. Yeah, well, we're clearly going to find out at some point. But I think there's going to be a lot of stuff for people who have stuck with Bungie through the years. Super excited to find out about that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Plus, I want to figure out what those cards are unlocking for us. Don't
Oh
forget
yeah.
about those cards, man.
Oh yeah, that's exciting too. Definitely.
Have there been new cards reported from E3?
No,
Not that I
not.
saw.
Right. We are in a direct connection. Like Jez is on top of what's going on in the Destiny world, and then there's people in the community who are on top of that, like that Agrios and Dendros. Like that person is way on top of Destiny news, and that Jez is way on top of that. Like, so we've got it. If there was a code anywhere in the community, it would be sniffed out quick. It would be sniffed out real quick.
Yeah,
How are we doing on time, guys? You guys have to get going, or we got a couple minutes?
I probably need to get off. It's getting tough for me to keep my son happy and not screaming.
Mhm.
Gotcha. All right. Well, okay, then we'll wrap this up. So the last part of that question to finish this up is the PvP gameplay, and I'll tell you right now that I was super excited to see how the combat resolved itself. Because when I heard from the people who are making this game that the combat resolved a lot quicker, I was worried. But I feel like it's a nice middle ground between Halo and Call of Duty. Like I don't feel like anybody gets just robbed. I haven't seen. I've watched a ton of footage, and I have not seen anyone just get robbed. I've seen people really rock, but nobody. I've never felt at some point like, oh man, that person just is really getting mauled to death. Like there is still time to turn around. There is still time to change course. You just have to be quicker. And with the tools they've given you, with the added mobility, they've really given you those tools. Anybody else on this before we got to shut this down?
The only thing that I've seen that I haven't liked, and maybe it's because I just haven't seen enough footage of Titans or Warlocks being able to use their supers in PvP, but man, when that hunter gets that golden gun, killing spree like crazy. Like,
I agree.
That is the only thing that I'm like, oh man, like, because I've never seen a Titan yet be able to land Fist of Havocs and disintegrate someone, and I've never seen a Warlock throw down a Nova Bomb and kill someone instantly.
I can confirm.
What's that?
I said I can confirm that you can get a Titan Fist of Havoc off. I was in PvP earlier, and I jumped from my Sparrow and Fist of Havoc down onto the Interceptor, which is basically kind of looks like the Spectre from Halo. It's it's like a big tank. It's not really that big. It's like a small tank, I should say. And yeah, it completely destroyed the vehicle and the person inside. It was
That's
quite fun.
exciting. That is super exciting. River, you got something on this?
I think you were talking about the speed of play, good mix of Call of Duty and Halo, right? One of the things that I really am excited to see more of for PvP is that balance that they're striking with the supers. How if you're kicking ass in freaking PvP, you're not going to get that freaking kill streak special that you're used to seeing in like Call of Duty. You're helping your buddies charge up their supers.
Totally.
That's elevating them up. It's a huge emphasis on teamwork, and I'm really liking that. And whenever they freaking put off their supers, they're gonna get those orbs out for you so that you can charge up your supers. It's this great balance that I think Bungie didn't even. I'm lost for words on that.
Yeah. Hey Jez, do you generate orbs in PvP with your supers?
You still generate orbs, and you have to hunt for them for other people, but your super's always charging yourself anyways.
Yeah, at a extremely slow rate though.
Well, you can get stats that increase that rate.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
I
think it's intelligence is the stat that increases your super recharge rate.
Ooh, your battle recovery.
No,
What is
it's
that?
intelligence. I haven't seen battle recovery, to be honest.
Hmm.
The only ones that have been intelligence, which increases your super recharge rate, strength, which increases your melee attack recharge rate,
Hmm.
and uh, discipline increases your grenade recharge rate.
I've seen a lot of people are taking that hunter out in the alpha, and with that golden gun, I've seen people be a hero. Like I've seen people drop three bad guys, no problem, and I've also seen the exact opposite, which is basically you just totally blew, you just
You
totally blew
missed all
your
your shots, huh?
right, missed all your shots, and those are really
Oh,
the funny ones because as soon as they pull out their super, you hear this person on the microphone go, "Yeah," because they know they're about to create this landslide of destruction, and it's like boom, 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 miss all three shots, and that's it.
how
That's it.
disappointing.
Right on. Well, so that's all the time we have for this evening. Jez, you want to do some shout outs?
Well, first we want to shout out K Dubs in the chat as Destiny K Dub. He provided us with a alpha code.
Absolutely. He provided us with 2 alpha codes. I did want to give him a big shout out. Before all of this open alpha entered, and all you had to do was put in your PSN address, he provided 2 codes for us, and now it's open for everyone. But at the time, it was amazingly helpful. Thank you very much about that. Continue, Jez.
I'm not sure how you wanted to give that out, those codes out, if you're going to do a contest or something later.
Yeah, that's a good
But-
question. I think that everybody in the chat has one already, but let's see if anybody is interested in that in the chat in 40 seconds when this piece of audio goes live. Crimson Warlock, you got someone to shout out?
I'm going to shout out to my son tonight because he's been a trooper throughout this whole trip.
Yay!
We've done probably close to 650 miles in 2 days, and he's only 9 months old, and he's been a trooper. So
That's awesome.
my son,
Mhm.
I'm shouting out tonight, and I'm just going to shout out to the whole community because I think the reason why this alpha is so big and why it's doing as well is because our community is just awesome.
Agreed.
So thank you guys and gals who make Destiny, that awesome game, and hopefully it's always going to be that awesome game that we tell our kids about, and they think, wow, that game's that classic now, instead of what Mario is to us, it's Destiny to them or something.
Agreed. Good call. River?
Well, and Mike took my little thing. I did want to give a huge thanks to the Destiny community, specifically for the way they handled that alpha leak. It was really cool to see everybody kind of take out, if they did happen to retweet it, like myself, take off that retweet in Twitter. You can try to bring that stuff down, show respect to the developer, and it was really amazing to see everybody kind of come together in this community to try to combat leaks and spoilers and breaking along with that NDA crap. That's it.
I like
That's all
it.
I got. Mhm.
I like it, and I agree. I saw a lot of people just straight shun them. Like I'm not looking at that. And again, I don't know why I didn't. Like I didn't, but who knows? Who knows why I didn't feel right. I would like to shout out to everybody who's listening at home right now. Everybody who's listening on as a podcast and not a live show. I appreciate you taking the time to check us out. We have a ton more Destiny to talk about. I would like to thank everybody in the Twitch chat right now. D. Laridal, I appreciate you showing up. Latitude X, very, very thank you for showing up. Let's see, and that's it. Oh,
Everybody
no.
else is playing the alpha, right?
Promethean
And Destiny
Zeus.
K Dub.
K-Dub.
Oh yes, yep, K-Dub, and Promethean Zeus. I actually I got to hang out with Promethean Zeus and One Arm Ninja watching Rockstar last night. And it was a good time. But you know what would have been an even better time is if we were playing with her in that world in Destiny. Like, how about I watch her distract people while dancing while playing with her? That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, thank you to everybody who showed up. And also, I'd like to give a apology to Mrs. River and Mrs. Warlock for running so late last time. Honestly, I would just talk about Destiny until I died if it wasn't for these people keeping me from doing it. So, big apology for keeping your husbands out so late. I would do it every week if I could, but I am sorry.
Dude, I would do it if I could.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for everyone who showed up, and we will see you next week right here on the Guardian One Network.